We so often try to force things to happen in our lives that aren't in alignment with our purpose or that are outside of God's purpose, plan, or His timing for us. And when we do, it takes a toll on our mental, spiritual, emotional health, and even our physical health. And when we're trying to force something, our body's energy becomes heavy and dense. The life force energy that God breathes into us begins to fade. And if we're present and aware, it's going to feel like our energy is stuck and stagnant in our body. And I've experienced this feeling many times in seasons where my life was unbalanced and chaotic. It happens every time that I decide to move ahead of God or make something happen for myself rather than trust God's plan or wait for His perfect timing. What often accompanies this pattern of striving and stress is minimal physical or emotional release, lack of adequate rest for our body, lack of exercise, lack of nourishment for my body or my spirit. And everything in my head gets noisy. My schedule gets overloaded, my creativity gets blocked, and I stop hearing from God. I used to stay in this place for much longer than I do now. And as I tried to force my will on my circumstances over and over and over, joy and peace just eluded me. It just felt like it was just gone. In frustration and turmoil, I would wonder, like, what is wrong with me? Why isn't this happening for me the way that I want and need it to? And just kept trying to force it. But now I understand that when I'm forcing my will and way in life, I'm blocking the Holy Spirit's flow in me. And I don't want to spend any more time or energy driven by fear or striving for success. That way of surviving is fruitless and futile. And I would know because I've tried it many times. I want to live Spirit-led in every moment, attuned in my body and my mind and my heart, attuned to the wisest counselor there is. I want to live passion-fueled and purpose-centered, trusting and abiding in God's beautiful plan and perfect timing. When I live in flow from a place of rest and receiving, the fruit of my life is so sweet. A few years ago, I heard God whisper the words into my spirit. He said, life force energy. He said, tune in and let my life force energy flow from you. He said, it's your force. His words reminded me in that moment of a scene from Yoda and Luke Skywalker in The Empire Strikes Back, and I smiled as truth just resonated in my spirit when I heard it. I felt that familiar little tingly feeling run up my spine, the one that I get when I know that's God's speaking truth into my core, and a deep peace washed over me. God is the source of our life force energy. He breathed that life into us from the very first breath we took. And His Spirit continues to flow through us every day that same way. But when we aren't aligned with His flow of energy, our soul, our spirit, and our body start to die a slow death. We desperately need His life force flowing through us at all times. And any other way of living is not really living at all. It's just existing. So make the decision today to stop battling yourself and stop resisting the Spirit's flow of life in you by trying to force your will on your circumstances. Instead, learn how to tune into your heart, to the flow of the Spirit within you, and open to receive all the good there is for you. This is your greatest source of support and wisdom. From this place, you'll receive supernatural strength and courage. And it's the source of healing, peace, joy, and abundance. And in the beautiful, harmonious flow of His Spirit, you will experience transformation from the inside out. Your life will never be the same again. You'll live with more freedom and fullness than you can ever imagine.